Hey, it's Sean again. Next part of our Conestoga series is how to deal with the front of the trailer, opening and closing, and some things to look out for. So at the front of the trailer there's an aluminum bulkhead that resists the pressure of the tarp pulling to the rear, and it also has to resist a lot of wind force against the front of it. But something to know about this bulkhead is that it's not designed to resist the forces of freight coming forward. So always inside of a Conestoga you have to secure your freight like it's on an open deck trailer. It doesn't have a DOT rating. It does have a door in the front so that if you've got a load that will allow it, you can get inside your trailer and check your freight over without actually having to open the trailer up. So to actually open the front of the tarp, you're going to start here with this handle. And be aware that these handles are a really fragile piece. You can see on this one, this has actually been bumped into, and that's changed the shape of this handle. Now it's been repaired so it works right again, but this is a really vulnerable area when you're driving. Doors, other trucks in parking lots, things like that, it's really easy to bump into that. This trailer is 108 inches wide. The Conestoga kit adds 3 extra inches on each side. So you don't need a permit to pull them. They're considered load securement, but you are in effect driving an oversized load all the time. So to open the front here, we have to push in on this handle to take the pressure off this pin, raise the pin up, and bring the handle out. There's a couple of places on these trailers that need a little bit of lubrication, and this hinge right here is one of those places. So a little bit of PB Blaster or whatever your favorite lube is on there is a good thing. When you open this up, then the two pieces can separate. So this piece stays with the tarp, this piece stays with the front bulkhead. And then while your tarp is open, you want to swing this handle back closed so that you don't run into it or hit it with a piece of machinery. Now we have to repeat that process on the other side. So now we have to do the same process on the other side here. Push in on that handle, raise the pin up, and bring the handle up. Now on the second side here, the tarp is going to start to go to the rear. So there's a handle here. If you're having a hard time getting these disconnected, you may have to pull forward on the tarp a little bit to be able to get those disconnected. And again, swing this handle. Swing the handle in so you don't hurt yourself or damage the trailer where you can't secure it properly. So now, if all is well, we should be able to roll this all the way to the tail end of the trailer and expose all but about 10 or 11 feet of the deck of the trailer. So if you've got a load that's going to cover the entire trailer deck, you're going to have to consider weight distribution and positioning of your load. So you may have to open both ends, but a lot of times the front is easier to open. You can see that this one has been damaged. It's missing a piece here, so again, be really careful when you're maneuvering around to avoid damaging your trailer. They're super delicate. Okay, so now you can see we've got the tarp opened up from the front, and it exposes the majority of the trailer deck for loading and unloading, but we've got 10 feet or so that's still covered. So if we need to have freight in here, you're going to have to shift it and do the other way. You want to again pay attention to your load distribution so you don't end up with axle weight problems. Whenever you have the tarp open, there's the possibility that it could coast and possibly get damaged or hurt somebody. So you want to lock it in position. So underneath the tarp here, you can only see these when the tarp is loose. There's a thumb screw, and the only time these should ever be used is when the tarp is open. You don't ever want to use these to try to hold the tarp in the closed and locked position. Only use them when they're open, and there's one of those at all 4 corners of the trailer. So you'll see us use them again on the rear part of the tarp. So tighten that down about as tight as you can get it with your fingers, and then it should be locked in place where it doesn't move. Make sure that it is. So you should try to avoid moving the trailer with the tarp open whenever possible because of that coasting issue possibly, and also because your visibility is going to be reduced. The tarp is supposed to come out like this when you open the trailer. Sometimes if you've got a wind blowing against the side of the trailer as you open it, this is going to go in instead of out. So you want to make sure that the tarp isn't getting pinched and getting damaged underneath there. The side rails here don't require any lubrication. At some point somebody has sprayed oil on the side of this trailer. That's completely unnecessary. We've got a V-shaped roller in here with a sealed bearing inside of it, and there's nothing actually sliding here. That roller rolls. So if you ever have trouble with these not wanting to roll, either you've got some kind of mechanical defect, a loose axle or a bad bearing, or there's dirt in here. It's possible for the right kind of rock to get into this area, and it acts like a little wheel chock in there for those V-shaped rollers as they're going. So again, that's the front slid all the way to the rear.